Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me. And we can run from here, and we can disappear, and they won't find us.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Kaluno Gaming playing Satisfactory. In this episode, we are going to finally turn on the turbo fuel generators. In this episode, it's going to be a little bit of a different, layout than I normally do. So in this one, you can see here I'm showing off that section that we left off in the last episode, where I have the 300 oil coming in from 3 different oil extractors, with one of them being overclocked to 150% to give out 180 crude oil, and then the other 2 are both at 60 crude oil. So that first one is the one that's overclocked. It goes to 6 of these refineries. And then these last 2, since they're both at 60, go to 2 of them each. But the entire pipe is connected, so that way it's 300 through that entire pipe. So what I'm going to try to do with turning these on is turn them on in sections, because my power grid right now stands at about 7,800, and a little bit of that is actually fake power from my previous coal generators. So as I connect these, you'll see we'll turn them on in kind of bit by bit, like refinery section by refinery section. So what I just turned on was my crude oil to heavy oil residue recipe. So this one here gives you the polymer, which is going to go into the awesome sink here, or polymer resin, and then the heavy oil residue, which is going to go down and be turned into diluted packaged fuel. So to be able to get the awesome sink on, I put the awesome sink in with the other grouping right next to this for the packaged water. So I'll have to turn that section on here in just a second. So now that that one is on, we should now also be making packaged water. And we should also be then running the awesome sink to gain some more points for even more coupons. So the packaged water is using 4 lines of water at 300 each, and they're connected on the outermost refineries with a pipe going across through the middle. So those back here are getting the empty canisters from the line coming out of the unpackaged fuel, and then the packaged water is going to the other refineries before the packaged fuel, which is the diluted packaged fuel. So we have right here packaged water going into a set of refineries to make diluted packaged fuel that go into a set of refineries to unpack the fuel to send the empty canisters back to make packaged water again. So real quick, the reason we're turning this on in sections is, as you can see, I'm using about 5,000, actually over 5,000 megawatts of power right now out of my 7,800. And that's just with 2 of these sections turned on, as well as the rest of my factory in the world. So basically the BAB4, if you watched some of my previous videos, you should remember that base. That's mainly where most of my power is coming from. So then I'm also going to turn on this section over here with the assemblers to make the compacted coal for our turbo fuel. And the reason for this is just so I have enough to actually make turbo fuel if my system crashes or whatever. I should have a little stockpile of compacted coal going through here, which just went through. That way once we get the fuel over here, we'll be able to have, like I said, a stockpile in these lines to make some turbo fuel to hopefully get some of the fuel generators online to basically offset our power needs. But we'll see if we even need to do that later. But the other thing I'm trying to do in this video clip is kind of do it all in one shot. I want to show you guys how long this process takes for actually turning these turbo fuel generators on. It actually takes a while. So basically a good 95% of this video is going to be me turning these on, maybe 90%. Is basically just turning on these fuel generators to start gaining over 20,000, I think it's like 22,000 megawatts in the end of power. So speaking of which, if someone wants to guess in the comments, I'm not going to show it in this video, but if someone wants to go ahead and guess in the comments what my total amount of power generation is going to be once this system's fully operational, we'll see who can get the closest to that. You should have a few bits of information already from some of my previous videos as well as from the beginning of this video. So just watching over here, we're just making sure that we're getting a bunch of the compacted coal ready. Also, real quick, we're still trying to get to 500 subscribers. You guys are doing a phenomenal job at sharing my videos, and I can't believe I'm already over 200 subscribers. Last I checked, I was, I believe, at 213 or 214 subscribers, which is amazing. I'm going to keep doing these weekly updates to the Satisfactory Let's Play. So the more you guys share my videos, the more my content gets out there. Maybe in the future, I might do 2 uploads a week. We'll kind of see how that goes. But I know I do still want to do that 500 subscriber giveaway, so every like, comment, subscribe, and share helps me get closer to that goal. So if you guys have a second real quick, go ahead and smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you aren't already. And if you have a few seconds real quick, go ahead and share this video with someone that you think likes this type of content or likes this game. Alright, so I think it's ready to go ahead and turn on this next section, which is going to be the diluted packaged fuel as well as the packaged fuel, or sorry, unpackaged fuel. So I'll go ahead and turn those sections on, and now the fuel or diluted packaged fuel, although it's called something different, it's still fuel. But essentially you're turning water into oil or heavy oil residue to turn it into excess fuel. So I believe the numbers here, it starts off with 300 crude oil, goes to 600 heavy oil residue, and then I think when it gets down to the fuel over here, we're over 800 meters cubed of fuel per minute when we get over to this portion. And then what we're going to have to wait for in this part here is for this beginning part of the line before this little kink. This section down here is going to have to fill up first before it's going to go up over this little bump. The fluids in this game, that's just kind of the way it works. So it's going to take just a couple of minutes here, or a couple of seconds, so I'm not really sure. But then we should start seeing oil flow over these. Or not oil, fuel. I keep getting those mixed up. I think one thing that would be cool for coffee stains to implement is glass pipes. I think it would be kind of cool to see the fluids actually flowing through the pipe as they go. I'm sure frame rates would bottom out left and right for a lot of people if we did that, but I think it would be cool if we could add sections of glass pipe. Maybe use it kind of like the glass walls or glass flooring. Just use it sparingly, just to kind of add some nice aesthetic details. Maybe in a mod, maybe in an update. Who knows? That would be kind of cool though. Alright, and we do have now oil flowing over here. Real quick question. Do people prefer at night if I were to use the flashlight to help record the videos and you just have this, little spotlight in the middle? Or do you guys like it without the flashlight? I'll kind of show some of these sections both with and without the flashlight. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Alright, and the fuel looks like it's filling up nicely in this section here. Alright, oh, it looks like we're about 6,300 megawatts out of 7,800. And as I said, part of that's false power, so I have a set of coal generators. If you guys go watch like my circular coal generator video, I think it's labeled, how has no one done this? I'll go ahead and leave a card for it up in the corner. You'll see a set of fuel, or my first coal generators off to the side of that ring. Oh, these darn bloat flies. But you'll see a section of coal generators there that are kind of falsely giving power. I have them, the coal line routed through that over to my circular coal generator, and that's kind of actually the reason I'm building this, is I keep running out of power. That section there, in probably a future video, I'm going to go tear that portion down, so that way there I don't have any more false power. But this looks like it's all filling up nicely. We have a bunch of compacted coal over here. And I know I said I'm not going to cut the video at all. One thing I am going to do though is I do go back and forth between the fuel gens and the turbo fuel factory quite a bit. So I am going to speed up just the sections of me crossing back and forth. That way there you guys don't have to sit around, you know, forever, and this video isn't going to take an hour. In total, when I recorded this, I think it ended up being around 50 minutes of footage. So I kind of condensed it down to about 20 minutes for you guys. That way there, it's not, you know, taking the full 50 minutes. You guys don't have to sit through an hour-long episode. But just so you know, there are a few moments that I do speed up the video, but I didn't cut any of that out. And real quick, I'm going to check the power usage. So it looks like we're going to be using about, and this is just a guesstimate, around 1080 megawatts to power this next section. So we're going to get really close. You know, we're up around 6,300, 5,900 megawatts of power. So let's go ahead and connect this section and see if we're going to be all right. But once I connect these, we should start making some of that sweet, sweet turbo fuel. All right, and those 36 refineries are coming online. All right, looks like all the compacted coal got sucked in, and oh man, look at that power jump. All right, we have more coal flowing out of the train platform. And look at that nice red color. All right, we got turbo fuel flowing. So over here, oh man. Yeah, this is really uncomfortable having the power that close. 7,400, 75, 76. Oh, it's like teetering right there. Hopefully my coal generators on the other side have enough power left in them that we can, you know, get a few of these fuel generators online. I don't see any fuel or turbo fuel over here yet. Although I do see our turbo line heading back over to dump off more sulfur and coal. Alright, I know someone has an opinion about this. So far, I have basically done my entire factory build so far, up to about 200 hours here. Actually, it's 200 hours once these things come on, I'm pretty sure. I still basically only use Mark 1 power poles. As crazy as that sounds, I've used Mark 2 here and there. I have yet to unlock Mark 3, but 90% of the time I'm using Mark 1 power poles everywhere throughout my entire build. I just actually mainly do it for the grid system, you know, grid ability. It allows you to put a lot of the power poles right next to the hookups for each machine. And to me, this is all about aesthetics, is I want a nice, clean factory build. So I use a lot of Mark 1 power poles. If you guys think of a different way that might look cleaner, that uses a higher Mark power pole, please let me know. Alright, and here I'm going to speed it up again just a little bit. We're going to have that turbo fuel start pumping up these lines. Oh, look at that. We're getting it up to the next level. We're going to have to go, I believe it's 4 of these pumps on each line to get to the top. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, no, no. Okay. Well. Oh, wait. Nope. Oh. Okay. So. Backup plan. I'm going to shut off some of the sections here. This first section of refineries. Let's see if, if I shut that off, if I can go ahead and power this back on. Tripping power at this point. Oh, God. Tripping power at this point. It's kind of concerning. Oh, wait. Okay. We have power. Maybe I can reconnect this. Oh, that is super close. Okay. We have power at the moment. The first set of refineries is taken offline. Let's see if this will last long enough to get the rest of this turbo fuel up here. So what I'm saying is tripping power when you have this size of a factory, figuring out what you need to turn on and off to turn power back on, because each machine spikes the power when it first kicks in. It's a nightmare. But it looks like we have some of the pumps turning on here. At least this first line is going quite well. And then line 2 and 4 are coming on. Sorry, 3 and 4, and 2 is coming online now too. Okay. We have power flowing up to the top here. We're hovering around that 3600 mark. And what we should start seeing here in just a couple of seconds as those lines are filling, there it is. Look at that climb. So this thing is just going to kind of keep climbing and climbing. And the reason you see it kind of spiking and then coming down is currently, with the pumps and everything, it's got a prime essentially before it'll kind of peter out to a steady level. Just because of the way that the stuff is being built or produced. So now that we have around 15,000 megawatts, we're going to head and hook everything back up. That way there, now everything is connected to this line. Everything should have enough power at this point, as well as should be primed well enough that this should all be able to start flowing. Some of my refineries just are weirdly turning on and off. I mean, hey, it works, so they're all flowing. Alright, and let's check over here real quick. It looks like we have turbo fuel flowing through the pumps here, or through the pipes. I'm starting to see glimpses of red in a lot of these areas, as well as a bunch of green indicators for the fuel generators. Got some red ones back here, which I think is just because they're still tripped from when the whole power grid went down. That'll change here in a little bit once turbo fuel starts to get to them. We'll go ahead and check the power again. Oh yeah, we're doing good. So I've noticed this a few times in a few different areas now. Some of my machines, although they're running, will still only show a yellow indicator light instead of a green indicator light. Don't know if that's just still a little bug in the game. I have reported it to Coffee Stain before. I don't want to, smash them with a ton of that stuff. But let me know, dude. Do some of you guys out there have that same issue? Noticing, little bugs with the machines like that? All right. Can't tell you how good it feels after days upon days of building this entire structure to finally have power being generated from it. When I first built this thing, I had no idea even if it was going to work. I did the math. I did the math again. I did the math a third time. So I triple checked my math on most of this build. So in theory, it all worked, but man, nothing feels as good as finally turning it on and seeing over 20,000 megawatts of power. So we're going to let this system continue to fill up. We're going to let this fuel generators continue to fill up and kind of peak out its power. Once again, if you guys have a guess to see what my maximum power output is, go ahead, leave a comment down at the bottom. I'd love to hear what you guys think. But a little teaser for next episode, we're going to start working over here by our central storage area again. I've built a few platforms out here. Maybe a few of you guys can guess as to what this is going to be. I did leave a comment in one of my previous videos that might give it away. But we're going to start building over here so that we can start building a larger base. Alright, that's all for this one. This is going to be Kaluno Gaming signing off. Have a good day.